All right, the nation will be paying its honors formally on Wednesday to the former president of the United States, George Herbert Walker Bush, the details of which we're still waiting for. We do know that invites have gone out to the president of the United States, the current White House occupant, and his wife, and they have accepted, and they will attend this event at the National Cathedral. Iowa Republican Senator Joni Ernst joins us right now, the Senate GOP conference chair and a member of the Senate Armed Services Committee. Senator, very good to have you, and congratulations, first off.
Thank you very much, Neil.
You know, it is interesting, and I always was kidding with the staff here, Senator. We say wonderful things about people once they leave this planet. I always wonder, can we save a little of that while they're still alive? And many did. Well, the president was alive and well. But you know, everyone talks about harkening back to a time where both sides, you know, talk to each other. I remember those times in covering Bush Sr.'s presidency. It wasn't, you know, all peaches and cream. But what do you think his legacy will be when you remember his presidency? Of course, many, many years before you came to power. But what do you remember?
Well, first, my condolences to the family. This is a great loss for us. And I heard Dana expressing personal recollections from President Bush. And what I will share is that not only did he truly exemplify what America is and is fondly remembered by Americans, but he's also fondly remembered by our international community. As a young company commander going into Kuwait for Operation Iraqi Freedom in 2003, the Kuwaiti National Police that we worked with, they viewed Americans as their saviors because of Desert Shield and Desert Storm. And so they had such great admiration and respect for President Bush and the fact that he was willing to commit our American souls to Kuwait in a time of need. So it's all about relationships, and he was a very good relationship maker and keeper. So we appreciate his great service, not only through his time when he served in the military, but through many, many difficult years and on even after he left the presidency.
You know, a lot of people don't know of your own military background in the National Guard and serving abroad in combat, first female combat veteran elected to the United States Senate. And from that type of experience shared by President Bush, there was a great reluctance, certainly on his part, to even go in to Kuwait back in 1991 because he said, this is a heavy burden. I know very well of the dangers and risks of war. So he was very sensitive and chafed at criticism to that campaign and limited its mission as a result. What did you think of that?
Well, I thought that was a very, very smart and a wise move on his part. He knew what was necessary in order to push back on Saddam Hussein, and that was strategically brilliant. He did what was necessary, but he didn't overdo it. He understands the costs of war. He understands that that's hard not only on those service members, but also on their families. And I know that it was greatly appreciated, not only by the American people, but by the international community, and certainly by the folks in Kuwait that were obviously under a lot of stress and angst during that time. So he was a great leader for the American people. I have high regards for him, and again, my condolences.
You know, Senator, we talk about a time when you could have, if you think of the Reagan-Bush ticket, the presidency and vice presidency, you had a conservative with a moderate, and now a lot of folks are saying, well, the two sides can never reconcile their differences. That was proof then that they could, and they did, and much is circling now with the President Trump invited to the funeral and the family extending that invite. What do you think?
I think that's a great thing to do. I'm glad the president has accepted because, of course, President Bush 41, as we will fondly always remember him as, was a tremendous man and a great leader for our country. And this certainly is a time to pull together. And he will be always a great reminder that we can do many great things in a bipartisan manner. At a time when our country needs us, he demonstrated such great leadership, and as well, working in a bipartisan member with a divided government, also exhibiting great leadership.
Thank you, Senator, very, very much. We appreciate your taking the time.
Thank you, Neil.